I've never seen anybody that took a look at this picture that didn't know it was Marilyn Monroe. I didn't hear anybody ever say, well, that's Jane Mansfield or somebody else. So, oh my God, that's Marilyn singing Happy Birthday to JFK. So JFK came to New York 50 years ago in May to celebrate his birthday. For most people my age, and in 1962 when they had the birthday party in Madison Square Garden, I was 26. Kennedy, I think, was a god. We were so relieved to have a nice, young, good-looking person in there after Eisenhower. Well, I was assigned by Life magazine to cover the birthday party, and it was at the old Madison Square Garden between 50th and 51st on 8th Avenue. You know, it's always very exciting photographing a president of the United States. Since then, I've photographed quite a few. In fact, I had photographed both Truman and Eisenhower before that. But it was a very exciting moment. Well, it's a picture of Marilyn Monroe singing Happy Birthday, Mr. President to JFK, who was visiting New York on May 19th and 20th of 1962. And all of the stars from Hollywood, well, most of the stars from Hollywood, and all the heavy hitters from New York were there, with the exception of Jackie Kennedy, who had let it announce that she was visiting her horse friends in Virginia. Marilyn was on the program, along with Jack Benny and Jimmy Durante and Ella Fitzgerald and Peggy Lee and Maria Callas and Henry Fonda and Mike Nichols and Elaine May and on and on and on. Photographers were free to roam in the beginning. And then when the evening the entertainment started to get going, why, it was clear that all the photographers were going to be kind of herded behind a rope and rounded up. And that's when I got out of there and started my way up in those girders. Luckily, I had a 300mm telephoto lens, which was my only opportunity to try to get a picture of the performers, Marilyn in particular, with Kennedy looking up at her. The evening sort of unfolded in a very nice, regular sort of way with some of the garden lights on, ambient light on. And at one point, all the lights went out. It was just totally dark. I mean, pitch black. And then the spotlight came on, and there was Marilyn Monroe in this dress, which didn't have any zippers, didn't have any buttons. It had been sewn on her body and was covered in these Swarovski crystals. They looked like diamonds. They were flashing like that. And you could just hear one big breath, one gasp. And it was perfectly quiet. And then she started this song, this breathy, sexy song, Happy Birthday, Mr. President.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
And it was as if she had hit a memory switch. You really didn't know what had happened before, and God help anybody who went on after her. And it was incredible. And when she finished, the light went out. You couldn't see a thing. And then President Kennedy was up there thanking her, but Marilyn had evaporated. She was gone.
I can now retire from politics after having had Happy Birthday sung to me in such a sweet, open way.
They were going to harass anybody with the press that was down there in front. That was certain. That's the way it was shaping up. And I just went up far enough and out of the way far enough that I wasn't bothered. Well, I think it makes me think that it was one of the more incredible moments in my career. It was an all-star evening, but the only moment anybody remembers is Marilyn singing Happy Birthday, Mr. President.